synchronize my watches. 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock exactly. Good morning. Wow, what a cool full house. Yay. Happy first Sunday in March. Yay. Well, welcome to Unity of Fort Collins, everyone. Woohoo! Do we have any visitors today that would like a welcome packet plunked in your hand? Raise it up. Welcome packet. Barbara's over here with one. Did everybody get one? All right, they're available, and they tell you a little bit about our weird church. So it's good to know what you're in for here. It's all good, so we're excited to have you, and welcome to those of you online today. The one thing I want to mention is that our donations from our online community are growing, and that is so fabulous because we have done so much to try and make our presence online work better. So thank you all for helping us out. That's wonderful. Our speaker today is our beloved Sara Rain. Woohoo! I love having Sara come. I always feel touched deep. Sara helps me go deep, so thank you for coming. Kellee James is the reader, and the musician is John Magny and the choir. So if you don't know, the only thing that's a require for membership in the choir is to show up for practice. That's it. There's no audition. If you want to come sing, you're welcome to do that. Our youth program is growing, and we're super excited about that. Nancy and team have a stupendous curriculum. We're doing lots of advertising on Facebook and other places, but it's exciting to see more kids and families come. Each week we have a prayer chaplain available to pray with folks after the service. Our chaplain today is Jenny Hout. Here's Jenny. If you want to spend a minute with Jenny, she'll be back here in the Myrtle room. And if there's a lineup, there's a chair, so you don't have to lurk awkwardly outside the door. Reverend Jim is starting a new spirituality class, Tuesdays at 6:30 starting March 12th. It's a hybrid class, so both Zoom and in person. And the class will engage in a deep dive into various spiritual topics. So if you're interested, contact Jim for more details. I am so excited to say we had a fabulous annual meeting last week. Yay! It was so exciting to celebrate all the progress of the year, and we had more than 50 people stay for the annual meeting. Who does that? Especially when you could leave without penalties. So it was so good that you were here. Thank you so much. It's exciting to see what's happening. Leanne Gable ordered the pizza for us, and Courtney provided the veggies. Jim and Nina worked on the slideshow, and all the teams showed up. So thank you. Our proposed bylaws were approved. Our beloved Gerald Gates and Janice Ballard are stepping down, and we're so grateful for them. And we welcome 4 new council members. If you'd stand, Anisha Kuhn, Dave Johnson, Dennis Gibson, and Mike Hawes. Yay! So we got some good stuff done. We're in the process of co-hosting a summer camp again with Polestar Gardens. And the kids' ages are 5 through 12, 3 separate weeks of camp. 1, June, July, and August, registration is open. So it's a fabulous experience for kids. Community Lunch Bunch is at the Back Porch Cafe. And last week we had so many people show up, we overwhelmed the venue. So Nancy asked for a quick show of hands so she can have a plan about how many people plan to go to the back porch. So just raise your hand, get a sense. All right, not so overwhelming. I think we can do that. All right, sounds great. Who has announcements? Lil.
Well, the Connection Social team met last week, and we had a good meeting. And I've got a sign-up sheet. But first, I just wanted to tell you some stuff that's going on. This Friday night, we're going to have strictly ballroom here at the church. No dancing required. You just sit and watch. If you want to bring a snack, you can do that. We have a get-together board back here in the back. If you have an activity that you want to share with just a few people, you can write it up there, and then they can look, and you can look and get together. This March 19th, we have Tuesday Talk and Tea at 10 at my house. Tuesday Talk and Tea at 10, that's what it is. And then the sign-up sheet is we're planning a curry dinner on April the 7th after church. And the sign-up will ask you to sign up to bring a different topping. What we do is we put rice down, and then maybe some chicken or some tofu, and some sauce, and then you put the toppings on, like peas, raisins, cashews, shredded coconut, cucumber, and then you put your fork in, and you put it in, and you bring it up, and you get all the flavors, and it's really good. And then, but something that we're planning for May, just to let you know, is we're planning to have a book club with a potluck following, and we'll have sign-up sheets for that later. But we're going to read Boys in the Boat. So we've got some different things going on for that. So I'll start this way. And the idea is that, we can discuss the book while we're eating or afterwards and get to know each other a little better.
The Connections team is on fire. Well, a special moment in time. Our dear Dale is back.
So nervous. Oh, what a journey. But I am so grateful to be here, and I want to thank all of you. I got so many great cards, and I know that all of the energy that you've sent towards me has really helped me with this challenge. And I was going to say, you can't keep a good woman down. And I thought, well, that's a little presumptive. So I'll say, you can't keep this woman down.
This good woman. Oh, I just cried when I saw you, Dale. So good. We used these cards last week at the annual meeting as a way to signify your presence, but it also helps us accomplish our annual membership survey. So if you haven't signed one of these and would like to, it helps us keep our lists up to date. And if you don't know, it's like the choir. All you have to do is show up. If you think you're a member, you are. Yeah, if you need a card, please raise your hand. Then we'll have our lists up to date. Okay, woohoo. Let's join in our centering prayer. Our unity centers us in light and peace, allowing us to recognize our God within and to radiate that love to the world. Thank you. Go, John.
All right. Go, Ann. Thank you, Ann. Yeah. I'm going to start this one out with the fellas. We got Peter up there on bass and Mike on guitar and Steve back there on the drums. And yeah, that's my team. We're going to do a little song called Call Me Up. Oh, call me up if you need a helping hand. Call me up, you know I am your biggest fan. Call me up, we can follow up. I will always have the time. Call me up, operator standing by. Hey there, friend of mine, I haven't seen you now in quite some time. I dropped a message on your telephone line. It's been a couple weeks and no reply. You just forgot, you're busy, I'm sure. Oh, you know that I'm so insecure. Yeah, I must have said something wrong. And now you're saying forget about her. Call me up if you need a helping hand. Call me up, you know I am your biggest fan. Call me up, we can follow up. I will always have the time. Call me up, operator standing by. Years in school, I know they were hard, sitting all alone in the corner of the yard. Two outsiders that found each other, two believers that pushed each other further. If you're in some kind of trouble now, oh, please let me help you out. As if we were to drift apart, that would only break my heart. So call me up if you need a helping hand. Call me up, you know I am your biggest fan. Oh, call me up, we can follow up. I will always have the time. Call me up, operator standing by. Oh, call me up, operator standing by. Don't be shy, I said call me up. Oh, call me up today. Come on, baby, don't make me wait. Call me up. Oh, yeah. Oh. Call me up. Operator standing by. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
By
Thank you so
Mr.
much.
John Magny.
All right. Kellee, you going to do a little reading for us?
Good morning. I am reading from The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, the inner purpose of your life's journey. And I had this other little piece I wanted to stick in here right at the start, because I always do that. You are not a person, but a focal point where the universe is becoming conscious of itself. When you're on a journey, it's certainly helpful to know where you're going, or at least the general direction in which you're moving. But don't forget, the only thing that is ultimately real about your journey is the step that you are taking at this moment. That is all there ever is. Your life's journey has an outer purpose and an inner purpose. The outer purpose is to arrive at your goal or destination, to accomplish what you set out to do, to achieve this or that, which of course implies future. But if your destination or the steps that you're going to take in the future take up so much of your attention that they become more important to you than the step you're taking now, then you completely miss the journey's inner purpose, which has nothing to do with where you're going or what you're doing, but everything to do with how. It has nothing to do with future, but everything to do with the quality of your consciousness at this moment. Your outer journey may contain 1,000,000 steps. Your inner journey only has one, the step that you're taking right now. As you become more deeply aware of this one step, you realize that it already contains within itself all the other steps as well as the destination. This one step then becomes transformed into an expression of perfection, an act of great beauty and quality.
Yeah. Thank you, Kellee. Can we get the rest of the choir members up here? Ow, ow, oh, 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 ow, ow, oh, ow, we are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We're opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. Out. Help us sing along. We are opening up in a sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. Clap. opening. We are opening. No, we are opening. We are opening. I know we are opening. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening up, sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening up in a sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening in the sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening up, sweet surrender to the luminous. Can you all help us sing? We are opening up, sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. Opening up, sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. We are All right, thank you very much. We will be back.
Yeah! Good morning. Oh, that's so fun. Would you like to try saying good morning and see if everyone says it back to you too? Look at this fancy technology. Isn't this fun? Look at this. Oh, look at that. It's the Sufi invocation. You want to say it with me? Yes. Towards the one, the perfection of love, harmony, and beauty, the only being, united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the Spirit of guidance. Oh, that was so nice. I think last time I came, I just did it as a call and echo with you forever, and we took like an hour and a half to do it. Okay, so I wrote all these things down, and then I freak myself out because I have to try to remember to say every single one of them, which is so silly. I do want to say that the song that John chose for the choir this morning, and you all sound fabulous, is so beautiful for the theme that I was asked to speak about today. I was actually asked to speak about something in particular, and then I decided not to do that at all. But it was that we are approaching Ramadan, and Ramadan and Islam is related to Sufism, which is the path that I work with and support other people in working with. And so I was asked to speak about Sufism and Ramadan, and I will, but I immediately go into all of these associations because Sufism, as a word itself, as an idea, as a reality, means the study of wisdom. It's the cultivation of wisdom. So with that, I feel like I just got quieter, did I? Was I feedbacking? Okay, so the word Sufism comes from the root of Sophia, that many of you know from the Christian idea that holy wisdom is Sophia. And there's also a sense of Safa, which in the Arabic means purity. And so there's a sense about clearing out all of our confusions and landing on this deep sense of wisdom, which is, in my Sufi master's way of describing it, wisdom is a combination of intellect and faith. That is, it's not just the working of your mind. That's knowledge. Knowledge is important and it contributes to wisdom, but wisdom is much deeper than that. And you don't have to have book smarts to develop wisdom. So Sufism, as a path of wisdom, can be and is essentially inclusive, welcoming, all of the wisdom traditions that support humanity in evolving toward our highest ideals. That's what Sufism is. And it's not tied to any particular religions. So there are stories about Piro Murshid Inayat Khan, who is my Sufi hero, who was coming to the United States from India. And on the ship coming, this was 110 years, 118, 120, I don't remember, 1910, 114 years ago. And while he was coming across, it's months on a ship. And there are a lot of people, you can think about it as a cruise ship, not really, but, and there are religious services that happen on the ship coming across. And Murshid, that means teacher, he went to all of them. So he would go to a Friday evening Shabbat, and then he would go to a Sunday morning, a Catholic service, and then go to something else, I don't know, whatever. And he started getting questions from people saying, well, are you actually Jewish? And he would say, yes. And people would say, well, are you Christian? And he would say, yes. And if someone asked him, well, you're from India, are you Hindu? He would say, yes. And that was his instruction for all of his students, that anything that anyone asks you, if you're really paying attention, and if you're really sincere about your own spiritual life and cultivating wisdom, any faith tradition anyone asks you about, are you this, are you that, are you this, are you that, you can authentically say, yes. Because you recognize the beautiful, shining, true essence that is the center of the faith traditions that are expressed in different ways according to the needs of humanity in that time and place. Same things, right? Okay, I think I said one of the things that I had on my notes. Next. As we're approaching Ramadan, which starts next week, and I'm not going to go into a big lecture about what Ramadan is, but I will say that it's a 30-day-ish period. It's actually, you could say 29 days, because it's based on the lunar cycle, so it changes each year. It's at a different time each year. Right now, there's some overlap between Ramadan and the season of Lent. And right now, we are 2.5 weeks, I think. I don't do time. Into the season of Lent, which is a 40-day period of fasting to some extent and increased prayer practice. And Ramadan is a 29-ish, 30-day period of fasting and increased prayer practice. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. And there are a lot of faith traditions throughout the world who have periods of fasting and increased prayer practice. That's along with whatever the natural, normal rhythm of everyday life, of praying at certain times of day, praying especially on certain days of the week, praying especially on certain days of the month. And whatever this rhythm is, there's a central common theme about withholding from, refraining from indulgences of the world, and paying extra super close attention to God. We all get to do that all the time if we want to. And there's an extra courage and solidarity and comfort and a support around that when we have a religious or spiritual community that is doing the same thing at the same time. It is just like, but better than, getting a joint gym membership. Or talking about your New Year's resolutions and trying to loop all your friends into losing weight and exercising every day, or whatever it is. That if you loop friends into it, you're more likely to do it. And not because they're going to force you to do it, but because you have a sense of integrity. Because you have an inherent solidarity and accountability that is strengthened by love. That is strengthened by the shared journey, the companionship, the friendship along the way, which is why all of you showed up here instead of sleeping in any later than you did on a Sunday morning. Okay, let's see. So there are two things that I focused on for this morning around the themes of Ramadan and Lent. The first one is devotion, and the second is discipline. And these things feel somewhat counterintuitive, but they have a lot of shared qualities. So if you think just for a moment about what your own experience is of devotion, what does devotion mean to you? And probably, without consulting a dictionary, you can think it means love, it means loyalty, it means constancy, it means having an intentional focus of prioritizing the thing that you are, or the beloved being that you are devoted to, and holding that as the highest priority in your life, above your sense of personal whims or indulgences or flakiness or laziness, or right? So there's a sense of strength and constancy about devotion. With discipline, many of us don't like that word. Do you not like that word? No, we don't like that word. I see Joellen over here is like, no, discipline. And so discipline, sorry about that, Richard, blasting out the speakers. So discipline also has a sense of constancy, and it also has a sense of love. It also has a sense of prioritizing your highest ideals over the momentary impulses. Now, with both Ramadan and Lent, we have invitations about devoting ourselves to our disciplines. And these things work hand in hand. And there's also a huge quality in both of these phases, seasons, that are about understanding the purpose that the prophet Jesus and the prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings upon them both, held at the center of their own lives and the purpose of their existence. So with both of these things, we have Jesus in the season of Lent, in this 40-day period, spending time in the wilderness, in the desert, alone, isolated, and there is a deep, deep struggle happening. 40 days of aloneness in prayer and tussling with temptation. You can say, and the stories go, that the temptation comes from Satan. But in my understanding, maybe yours as well, Satan is a nice idea because we like to have a scapegoat, but the essence of what is undesirable is also part of our human nature. And it is also part of the God nature, which is all-inclusive. So my Sufi hero, Inayat Khan, says, do not try to limit God to your own ideals of goodness. God is beyond your piety. Ooh, you didn't like that, did you? Oh, you did like that. You're like, oh, okay. All right, so, whoa, like, are there tomatoes coming or flowers? I don't know. Okay, so that leads me to the next thing. So, super important thing. Along with Lent and Ramadan, we have periods of suffering and struggle. I did talk just a little bit about Jesus' form of that, which in the season of Lent is leading up to the ultimate arrest, crucifixion, 3 days of resting, and then being resurrected. All of these things are tied to and included in the season of Lent. So that's the culmination of the period of prayer and restraint, right? Okay, similarly, with a different focus, but similarly with Ramadan, the Prophet Muhammad spent the month is really just the very beginning of the revelation of the Quran, of the holy book in Islam. And in this 30-day period, in this one moon cycle that is the beginning of the text, the scripture, the instruction, the wisdom body of the Quran being given to the Prophet Muhammad through the angel Gabriel, the Prophet Muhammad, who has not accepted this title of prophet, by the way, but is in a mighty struggle because he thinks that he has gone insane, because he is being spoken to and there's an angel coming to him, and he does not have a constancy of faith. That was part of the theme that I offered for this morning, the essence of faith, devotion, and discipline. The faith was not there to begin with, and the Prophet Muhammad, there are descriptions about him hiding and covering himself in a cloth and shaking, and trying to understand what's happening and if he has completely lost his mind. And it is his wife, Khadijah, his first wife, who comforts him and assures him that this is actually the voice of God and the presence of the angel Gabriel that is bringing the lesson, the wisdom body of the Quran to support humanity's unfoldment and wholeness. It is his wife Khadija and that companionship, that encouragement and confidence that is conveyed through another living human being that gives the Prophet Muhammad the confidence, the willingness, the courage to tend to the message that is being given to him, revealed to him through the angel Gabriel. Now, we get to go, we, in our humanness, right here, right now, what's the year now? 2024. Okay, so right now, all of these wisdom teachings from Jesus and Muhammad and all of the great teachers of humanity are relevant for us right now. And we know that. That's why we keep showing up and listening for the message and tending to our own prayer lives and tending to our own souls. We know that there is a power, a presence, a beauty, a comfort in this instruction to us. And we want to bring ourselves into alignment of this receptivity to the message. Why? Because all of these faith traditions show us that when we engage with the sincerity of our hearts with these themes of devotion and discipline, we access what is called the fruit of the Spirit. I did not say that in nearly as fun a way as I could have, because really I prefer to say it like this: the fruit of the Spirit. That it's so much more fun that way. Would you like to say that? The fruit of the Spirit. Okay, so the fruit of the Spirit is from the book, the Galatians, the letters from Paul to the Galatians. And the fruit of the Spirit is not a cantaloupe. We're going to visit this too. You're going to be so annoyed that you brought me here today. And it is not a set of cherries, and it is not pears or plums, and it is not even cranberries, though those are delicious, and it's not even persimmons, somebody brought that up last night, or pineapple, or whatever. I would love for it to be a passion fruit, but it's not. So let's see. I brought this for you. The fruit of the Spirit is, so this is one version. There are different variations, and there are some other ones that can sneak in here. You can swap out some of the words, and it's all good. These are common in so many faith traditions, but this is how it is in the New Testament of the Bible. So this is the message that is, oh, we're getting pictures of it. Anyone else need to get a picture? The fruit of the Spirit. So we're going to make this easy and more fun and more ridiculous by including this guy, so, or girl. It's kind of girl. Okay, so how are you doing over there, Richard? He's like, I think I'm ready for you if you stand in front of the microphone. All right, so I'm almost out of time already, and I haven't told you anything important yet. All right, so all right, Anne, what's your favorite fruit? Mango. Well, the fruit of the Spirit's not a mango. The fruit of the Spirit's not a mango. If you want to be a mango, you might as well hear it. You can't be the fruit of the Spirit, because the fruit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Dolly, what's your favorite fruit? Peaches. I'm sorry, Dale. Peaches. The fruit of the Spirit's not peaches. The fruit of the Spirit's not peaches. If you want to be peaches, you might as well hear it. You can't be the fruit of the Spirit, because the fruit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Tommy Lou, nice to see you. What's your favorite fruit? Avocado. Is it a fruit? Or is it a veg? It's a fruit. The fruit of the Spirit is unfortunately not an avocado. The fruit of the Spirit's not avocado. If you want to be an avocado, you might as well hear it. You can't be the fruit of the Spirit, because the fruit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. One more time, Robert. A papaya, the fruit of the Spirit's not papaya. The fruit of the Spirit's not papaya. If you want to be papaya, you might as well hear it. You can't be the fruit of the Spirit, because the fruit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. You weren't expecting that on a Sunday morning, were you? All right, we're probably not going to come back to that later. What are the important things I need to tell you in the next 30 seconds, because we're already out of time? Well, we have more music from the choir today. Okay, so I do want to mention to you that Mahashivaratri is also coming right up. That is the great night of Shiva that starts on the 8th. Same themes, same exact themes: fasting, extra prayer, really listening for the voice of God, remembering the presence of God in our lives, and this example of overcoming darkness and ignorance and the confusions of the world, which is naturally woven into all of the faith traditions, because we in our humanness are naturally confused and attached to all of the things of the world. And that's beautiful. We are here to enjoy our experience in a body, in the world, in life, to have relationships, to have work, to have struggles, and also to fall into the suffering and the losses and the grief, the whole picture of this human experience. That's all part of the plan. And while we're engaging in that plan, we are encouraged and invited to remember what is eternal, what is absolutely essential. And we do that by choosing the things of self-discipline, self-control that we are willing to develop comfort with, because it helps us orient our priorities toward the eternal, toward God, toward the living essence of our own souls. That is not tied to any of the limitations. Jesus knew that. Muhammad knew that. All of the avatars have known that. Buddha knew that. In Buddhism, there's a common practice of only indulging in one meal per day. This is not all Buddhists everywhere all the time, but it is a common Buddhist practice to have one meal per day before noon, so that the rest of the day can be dedicated to meditation, to prayerful awareness, to mindfulness, to cultivating compassion, selflessness. Okay, so selflessness. Oh, we did sing the silly song. I wasn't totally sure we were going to do that. So here's a list of some things that are valuable about learning, developing these themes of self-discipline and devotion. It clarifies our senses. It helps us understand our priorities and shape our lives according to our ideals instead of according to our impulses. The impulses are fine, and we can follow the impulses through everyday life if we want to, but we have the option of shaping things in a more masterful direction, which is what the theme of Sufism is, that we want to experience the fullness of love and to recognize that love is our nature and love is God's nature, and also to develop mastery, self-awareness, and to grab hold of our own human experience, including our own thoughts, our feelings, the workings of our physical bodies, all of our relations and responsibilities in life. So, prioritizing human comforts leads to some suffering. I really wanted to tell you a joke today. All right. So it's okay to enjoy things. And sometimes enjoying things leads to some suffering that we're not anticipating. So there is a story about a man who goes to see the doctor because he's very confused. He has some enjoyments and pleasures that are the daily indulgence of coffee. Anyone love coffee? Also not a fruit of the Spirit, and, but you can be it if you want. And so this man who enjoys his cup of coffee goes to see the doctor and says, I love my coffee in the morning, but when I drink coffee, I get a sharp stabbing pain in my eye. And the doctor's like, well, that's not right. What's going on? Can you explain to me what's happening? And this man says, well, I make a really good cup of coffee. It's very rich and very dark. I hand roast things, and then I grind the beans, and I make the coffee, and then I add a little bit of sugar just to bring out the flavor, and a little bit of cream to just soften and make it really sweet and yummy. Give it a good stir, and then when I have a drink, I get a sharp stabbing pain in my eye. And the doctor says, take the spoon out of the cup. How many ways do we try to enjoy our lives and indulge in something delicious, and we don't notice the way that it's causing us some pain? And it can be as simple and beautiful as take the spoon out of the cup of coffee. So this is such a simple, tiny, and silly way of thinking about how we can really actually enjoy our lives more fully, have more happiness, more contentment, more generosity, more peace, more compassion, more harmony in the world if we rein in our impulses and grab hold of our own life experience. Okay, thank you, friends. I'll be back with meditation in a moment. Forgot I was going to want this again. For our meditation today, I'd like to bring us into a celebration of silence. That is another form of intentional and loving restraint. So tending to the breath and inviting the breath into the heart and feeling the silence that resides at the center of the heart. The living vitality of the silent breath. The miracle of the life force that silently flows into the body with the breath and back out. Mother Teresa said, God speaks in the silence of the heart. Listening is the beginning of prayer. It is also said that prayer is speaking to God and meditation is listening for God. knowing that we come into the silence of our own awareness, that we can hear and feel the presence of God in our lives, the guiding light of the step that is illuminated before us. We can feel the purity and the beauty of the moment. In the words of Inayat Khan, when I close my lips, God begins to speak. When I close my lips, God begins to speak. When I close my lips, God begins to speak. Ooh. When I close my lips, God begins to speak. When I close my lips, God begins to speak. When I close my lips, God begins to speak. When I close my lips, God begins to speak.
thank you, Sarah. Thank you for sharing that deep wisdom with us, and the funny songs and the corny jokes. Yeah. And we'll never, never regret inviting you here. It's better than a, what is it? A joint gym membership, isn't it? So, thank you. You see what happens when we let people loose just to come up here and just share from their hearts and their imagination and their creativity. And every one of you here, every one of you, that's what we're doing. We're letting you loose to participate in this community. Share your talents like our choir and all the other things. Yes, and now we let you loose in order to open your wallets and give generously to our community. So let's bless our offering together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
Oh, come on up, choir members. And everybody's in the choir today. You got to sing along with this one. It's I Am Everyday People from Sly and the Family Stone.
Yeah, Peter's coming through. Here we go. Full crowd.
Yeah, we got a good crowd up here. And as we've said before, the only thing required to be in the choir is to just come and sing. You don't even have to rehearse. Just get up. We don't care about that. Where's that groove, Steve? Oh, I hear it. We're going to start with some ooh-sha-shas. Here we go. Ooh-sha-sha. 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 Are you ready, guys? Sometimes I'm right, and I can be wrong. My own beliefs are in my song. A butcher, a banker, a drummer, and then makes no difference what group I'm in. I am everyday people. Yeah. Here, girl. Yeah. Different strokes for different folks, and so on and so on. It's Scooby-Dooby-Dooby, ooh-sha-sha. We gotta live together. Yeah. Oh, wait a second. Let's start again. We're all the same one. whatever we do. You love me, you hate me, you know me, and then you can't figure out the bag I'm in. If everyday people. Different strokes for different folks, and so on and so on, and Scooby-Dooby-Dooby. Ooh, sha-sha. We got to live together. There is a yellow one, won't accept the black one, won't accept the red one, won't accept the white one. Different strokes for different folks, so on and so on. Scooby-Dooby-Dooby. Oh, sha-sha. Everyday people. Sha-sha. One more though. Everyday people. I am everyday people. I am everyday people. I am everyday people. I am everyday people. I'm everyday people. Oh, everyday people. Everyday people. Well, I'm everyday people. Ooh, sha-sha. Ooh, sha-sha. Ooh, sha-sha. Yeah. Kids? Okay. Here we go. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. On the corner of Lines and Vine. Here on the corner of Lines and Vine, I'm gonna let it shine. Here on the corner of Lines and Vine, I'm gonna let it shine. Here on the corner of Lines and Vine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine. Oh, let it shine.
Plenty more kiddos that did not choose to come up today. We had a house full. It was a lot of fun. It was awesome for sure. We started a new chapter. We started a new series this month. This is on Jesus the man and Jesus our spirit, the spirit of Jesus. Today we talked about Jesus the boy. And what we are doing with this is we are wanting to show Jesus as an example, not the exception. We all have that oneness within us. We have that godliness within each and every one of us that he showed, and he showed love. Audrey, you want to start with something?
I'm going to share a little mime poem about how we all are connected. You're my other me. If I do harm to you, I do harm to myself. If I love and respect you, I love and respect myself.
Yeah.
We made stories. This is my story. It's not true. Jesus' sister Elizabeth was on a donkey on the roadside when something caught her eye. When she hopped off her donkey, she picked it up. It was a giant bag of jewels. She rode home to Jesus and told her brother about the bag of jewels. He told her to go to the king and give it to him because it may have been stolen from him.
I got to explain the purpose of that just a little bit. We did story cards of who, what, and where. And we took some of the ideas that we had talked about in class this morning of Jesus and a boy, as a child. What did he experience versus maybe what we experience in today's life? So they traveled by donkey, and they went to the marketplace, and just that type of thing. So then we created stories from that idea. So that's what we were doing today. Thank you all.
And thank you, Nancy, and for all of you for being here today. Okay? Thank you. You want to go and find your parents or loved ones? Hey, how many of you have a March birthday? March birthday. Okay. It's
my turn. It's the first Sunday of the month, and we celebrate birthdays on the first Sunday of the month, and this is March, and we have a few people here, and they're going to tell us their name and the date, not the year, but the
I'm Lisa, and I'm deadly with a microphone, but my birthday's March 10th. You too can get deadly with a microphone, too, as you grow.
Yes, see.
I'm Denise, March 27th.
I'm Megan Bright. I chair the ACA meeting on Wednesdays, and I'm a chaplain here, and my birthday is March 5th.
So when we sing beloveds, dear beloveds. Okay. Ready?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear beloved. Happy birthday to you.
Well, thank you for being here. So let's all circle up and join hands with that loved one and as we close our service.
Uh-oh. Oh. Oh, shit. At least the guitar didn't go down.
We're going to have to build a bigger room someday. So together, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.